there is always so much time that we find for outer work where we are running around, focusing on the outside. But with going inward, all that we do on the outside gets better. So today's session, I'm just joining you for the first 5 minutes, and Dr. Preeti will lead you into meditation. It's mostly being in silence, but uh, I always got confused between these two, meditation and mindfulness. And I was very simply explained that one is on the mat, one is off the mat. So today we practice meditation here, and the rest of the day we practice mindfulness. We can do that. So meditation is on the mat or on the chair, and mindfulness is through the day. And so I will let Dr. Preeti share with you more. And we do this work together with schools, with colleagues around meditation and mindfulness, and hence my presence. But also given my double role in this conference with doing other stuff, I'm going to step away and fulfill that role. And I would let you enjoy a beautiful morning with Dr. Preeti. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Beautifully, Ganesh said about meditation and mindfulness. Mindfulness is what you then carry on. And of course, so many people said that, yes, we are mindful, right? Why is the need for practicing meditation, right? And it's only when we start practicing that we realize that the quality is different. The things that you are not present to before, you start becoming more and more present. You start becoming more and more aware. There are so many different levels of awareness. There is this, somebody was sharing a joke about levels of awareness. And they said, if you tell a drunkard, if somebody drinks and then comes home and he also manages to walk home, reach his home, sometimes they are falling, sometimes they are tripping, sometimes when they're trying to open their door, their hand is hurting somewhere, but they manage to land. And if somebody said that, you're not aware, you're drunk, and they say, no, I'm aware. See, I'm walking, right? So they are also aware at a certain level. But when we start meditating, we start becoming more and more present, more and more aware. And actually, if you see, even in the outside world, if you see in any of your relationships, especially if you have children, you may be spending the entire day at home, but so many times we don't realize that we are actually doing other things. And the child may say, Mama, you're not really present, right? So the mother is actually cooking for the child, the mother is holding the phone, she may be talking. So physically, she may be present, but the child says, you're not there with me. So what we actually all want is presence, right? And the relationship, the children will clearly tell you that. But even in other areas of life, where actually science now, Google, if you go and check, what are the benefits of meditation, all the benefits that they're talking about is really the benefits because you become present. You become present to your own body, to how much you actually need, to what you really need. You eat only as much when you eat mindfully. If you really become present, in another IC3 conference, what we had done is we had kept chocolates. And everybody realized that just one slice of that chocolate, when they really became present to it, they enjoyed it so much more. They became really present to the chocolate melting in their mouth, the flavors slowly going, and that one slice was enough. And somebody said, otherwise, I like chocolate so much that I would have the entire bar and still want to have more. But just having it mindfully made me actually enjoy it more. So we become present to our body. We have exactly the right amount of food. We'll have right amount of exercise, right? So the presence is what really starts helping us. When you become present to your job, otherwise, what's happening? If you have 100 units of energy, the energy is 10% going somewhere else, 20% going somewhere else, and only little bit is coming into the job. But when we start practicing meditation, when we start becoming more present, just those many hours, even lesser hours, but you become much more productive. The efficiency really goes up. So I'm not going to go into details of that, but actually, if you are going to share with your students, with your children about meditation, because obviously you are the role model. If you're going to go back and practice, very likely they will start doing it. But for them, it is important for them to understand why should we do this. So if you go back and share all of that, that is so helpful. Sri Chinmay said, only in my deep meditation do I come to know who I truly am. Yesterday we were talking about the inner child. From the childhood, we have been conditioned in a certain way. We've been conditioned to believe certain things, and every child needs to survive. They need their love of the parents. So, what happens is we start developing certain masks, we develop certain ways of being. One child may become the very obedient child because when you become so obedient, you get their love and attention. Another child could be the rebellious child, and the child also in rebelling also is actually asking for attention. So, since childhood, as we have developed this personality. But when people start meditating, they realize that their true self is actually beyond that. We need to start knowing this true self. I'm going to share a beautiful story. This story is really about the process of meditation. Shivani, do we have any friends joining online? Yes, okay. Good morning. Good morning to all the fans who've just joined. So, you've not missed anything because the story will really bring you to where we started. So, there's Buddha used to travel from one village to the other, and his cousin Ananda, who was also his disciple, would always travel with him. So, this is at a time when Buddha had become very old and they were moving from one village to the other. They used to only carry the begging bowl with them. And as Buddha is walking, he gets thirsty. There is a river that has gone by, and Buddha requests Ananda, can you go and bring me some water? Very thirsty. I'm going to rest here. Bring me some water from that river. Ananda goes and he comes back with the empty bowl. He says, Buddha, that water was very dirty. Let me walk ahead. There is a river ahead. Let me go and bring the water from that river. Now, at this point in time, Buddha insisted, no, Ananda, go back to the same river. He said, go back and bring water for me from there. Ananda was a little puzzled because Buddha used to never be stubborn about anything. He said, why is he insisting? But since he said, he starts to go. And Buddha says, remember Ananda. If the water is still dirty, sit there on the side. Sit there till it becomes clear. And then you bring me the water from there. And as Ananda has gone there, he realizes why Buddha sent him back. The water had cleared. He realized that a bullock cart had gone, bringing all the mud up. And as the time had gone, the mud had settled down. And he realized that Buddha gave him this instruction that you sit there, wait for it to settle down, because this is exactly the sutra of meditation. So many of us, we've heard meditation. What is it about? You have to become silent, you have to become peaceful. And even after knowing so many benefits of meditation, people say, I'm not able to meditate because when I sit, actually, there are more thoughts. Yesterday, friends were telling me, I've tried so many times, but I can't meditate. And I told this friend who yesterday came to the booth, I said, right now, if I tell you, don't think about ice cream. And she smiled, I'm already thinking about it. Right? Now, the moment we sit, we say, okay, now I'm not going to think anything. More and more thoughts start coming. So, when we are doing that, if we try to stop the thoughts, this is like getting into the water, which is already, the mud is there, settled now. It's going to bring up more and more mud. You can't get into it and try to settle the mud. Remember what Buddha said, sit aside, don't do anything. So, what do we do when thoughts are coming? We just watch them, we sit aside. Imagine you're sitting on your window and you can just watch the clouds or you can just watch the traffic. Don't get into it. And that is the sutra. So that is what really starts settling down. There are two things. There is the practice of meditation and there is the state of meditation. So when people say that this, silence of mind, that is the state. We reach that state. But what we need to do is we need to practice. The state of meditation, the silence will come. Mindfulness is the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. And of course, we need to acknowledge what is. The state is achieved by acknowledging and accepting whatever is happening. We don't fight our feelings, we don't fight the thoughts. Good morning. We were talking about energy yesterday. Ganesh mentioned that when you start meditating, you'll receive so much energy, right? And Ganesh earlier mentioned that he used to be having this that, okay, I have to do so much work. In the outside world, there is so much to do. So we have been living in the world of matter. We see everything as matter. But everything behind that is energy. And when we actually take little break from the matter, and when we start participating in the world of energy, we start also receiving more and more energy.
We receive some amount of cosmic energy in deep sleep and in total silence. We are using this energy for our day-to-day activities of our mind, like seeing, speaking, hearing, thinking, and all actions of our body. This limited energy gained through sleep is not sufficient for these activities. That is why we feel exhausted, tired, and tensed. This leads to mental and physical stress and all kinds of illnesses. The only way to overcome this is to get more and more cosmic energy.
This cosmic energy we receive also during meditation, when the mind becomes silent automatically. That is when you're going to receive this energy. So, the simple practice of meditation that we did yesterday, also, we started with yesterday, but that's what we are going to practice through today, is Anapanasati. Meditation is about bringing the mind to one thing. Our mind is like a monkey, it's going from here to there. So, all the techniques that you may see of meditation bring the mind to any one thing. The mantra meditation will bring it to the mantra first, right? And then you even drop the mantra chanting. You can, some people just watch the thought. So they focus on the thoughts, but then they just see that they're coming and going, not really thinking. Okay. What we do is, the simplest thing that we can do is being with the breath. When you become present to the breath, ana means incoming breath, apana means outgoing breath, sati means becoming one with it. So keeping our attention on the breath. When you do that, the breath is the one that's connecting the body, mind, and the spirit. Automatically, the mind will also start settling down. The settling happens automatically. In between, if there are thoughts, okay, we watch them, but don't engage with them, and keep your primary attention still with the breath. As you see that, you still be primarily with your breath. And that is when, at a later stage, the cosmic energy starts coming. When this happens, friends, so many people, they feel sometimes when they're especially beginning to meditate, they feel, oh, I started to feel heaviness in my head, or I started to feel tingly. Sometimes people feel there's a mosquito, there's a fly, I'm feeling itchy. All of this is the effect of the cosmic energy. Because we start feeling it coming from here, you may start feeling a heaviness here. Or if you have aches and pains, the pain may actually come up at that time. Now, this is really the energy trying to open up the blockages. As the traditional Indian medicine, Chinese medicine, they have recognized. Friends, please, we need all your phones on silent. The energy starts really opening up the blockages. All the illnesses are a result of these blockages. So, if at all any of you today experience this, know that it's a good thing. Don't try to move. When we try to move, when we try to scratch or do something to make the pain go away, it actually interferes. Surrender deeper into it. That will help more energy to come there and work on it. Okay. And of course, there are other experiences of the meditation that happen. One can start feeling more heavy in the body, or very light, a feeling like levitating. All of these things can happen. But the primary thing, we are not doing it for experiences, right? So many times people say that people experience light, people experience lightness. I don't experience anything. We don't do meditation for experiences. All that you have to do is train your monkey mind. So the mind is going from here to there. You just bring it to the breath, right? It is every day the experiences don't happen. Every day you need to practice. Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli, they don't become what they are just by one day of playing cricket. So we don't expect that every day we'll have some experiences, or we'll, be able to do it every day the same way. But what is required is every day we take time to do that. So from the monkey state, we bring it to one thing, we bring it to the breath. And from there, going beyond the mind, the silence is something that happens. That is not in our hands. In India, we would say that is like a prasad, right? The effort is something that you have to put, but the prasad is something that will come then. Are we ready to meditate? Any questions about the process, about the practice? Friends online, can I see them on the screen, please? Can we say hello to all of them before we go into this? That's wonderful. I can see Kunjal ma'am, Rubasan Singh ji, wonderful to see you. And another name that I can't see right now, Samsung. Good morning. So if you can also keep your cameras on, Basant Singh ji. We can all take off our spectacles. We'll have some music in the background. Friends, please make sure that our phones are on silent. can disturb everybody otherwise. Just a comfortable asana, anything that you're comfortable with. Ideally, if you can keep your legs and your fingers crossed, fingers in your laps, this creates a circuit, a closed circuit. So the energy that we are receiving, it starts to help. Many times when you're practicing going to a guru, they would say, open your palms. Keep it like that so that you're receiving from them. Yes, madam. Yes, it's allowed to sit down. You can take back rest. You can sit down also. Crossed ideally. Yes. Yes, sir. Right. So every day you can change the way that you're doing it. After we meditate, I will give you a few techniques that you could use for the students. Yeah. Thank you. So let's close our eyes. Make sure you've taken off your spectacles. In a relaxed way, closing your eyes, bring your attention to your breath. This time that you have taken just for yourself, we're going to make the most of it. And you're going to do that by becoming completely present to your breath. Completely aware of your breath as the breath is coming in. And completely aware as the breath is going out. Nothing else matters right now. Just be with your own self. Just be with your own breath. This awareness is a relaxed awareness that you're practicing now. It is not the concentration which has tension. And it doesn't have the unawareness that sleep has. So you're practicing an in-between state. You're aware, but in a very relaxed way. Become one with your breath. Anapanasati. One with the incoming breath and the outgoing breath. Allow yourself to ride the wave of the breath. And as we are present to our own selves, The quality of this presence is also acceptance. Awareness and acceptance. If you notice any thoughts that have been coming, you may just watch them, acknowledge that yes, thoughts are there. If you had drifted away with them, acknowledge that too. And without spending another second, come back to your breath. Meditation is the journey of knowing your own self. We are infinite beings. You are not this limited person that you know yourself to be. Let the breath take you deeper. Into the deeper layers within you, into your own depths, into deeper states of silence. Into the deeper emptiness. The emptiness within is full of potential. Buddha says, the silence within is full of answers. Just be with the breath. Surrender to your breath. Become present to the magic of life within yourself. The magic of this moment. If there's any restlessness in the body, watch that too. But do not move the body. Watch it like an observer. Become aware of the restlessness and notice that there's a part of you who can watch it. There are sensations in the body, and you are watching it. You are aware of it. The thoughts may be there, and you are watching them. And as you notice this, allow yourself to notice you are more than this body. You are more than these thoughts. Our thoughts are an entire collection of our past, a collection of all the surroundings. Can you not engage with them? Can you just be with your breath for some more time? Settle into the silence within. Settle into the stillness within. Just for another 2 minutes. Soaking in this silence for another minute, my dear friends. You may recollect any insights that you may have received in this silence just before we get ready to come back. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Slowly you may rub your palms together, cover your eyes, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So friends, even before we share our experience about the meditation, today I'd like you to carry this energy of presence. Let us be more mindful. Can we be a little more mindful than yesterday? So before you leave the room, I'd like you to just say hello to one of the friends here, a new friend. Okay, just while you're walking out, not as yet. And the way that you will do this is you will just become present to them, look into their eyes. And no hurry, no hurry to say, what's your name? Where do you come from? Just see this person. Before we even had the name, the being was already there, right? So not necessarily wanting to know about them, but really seeing them deeply. So right now, when I'm seeing ma'am deeply, right? I may not remember her name, but I see her, right? So see a person in this way deeply today, right? Okay. Any questions? Any sharing? How was the experience of meditation today? Anybody wants to share? Yes, ma'am. That's beautiful. Beautiful, ma'am. Thank you.
Connection. So, and then ultimately, I landed, seeing the statue when you said, I saw the statue.
Which statue? Okay. Wonderful. I did not see any statue, but yes, good that you saw. Wonderful. Wonderful. Anybody online also wants to share? You can just raise your hands. We'll come back to you. If anybody feels like sharing, you can raise your hands. Yes, ma'am. Do we have another mic? Can we give the mic here? Yes.
Initially, I was trying to, I think that I don't have to engage with the thoughts. I have to let them go. And I was not sure whether I am letting them go or, they are still there. I did realize after some time that I could see some clouds drifting here and there. And when I came back to my present state, I realized that my hands were folded, but I didn't feel at that time. They were numb. And my body, my arms were quite heavy. I think this is what I felt.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So friends, of course, we all have heard that we are the soul. Yeah, in India, everybody has heard that the soul has taken this cloth, is going to move from this cloth to another cloth after we die. But we are not really aware of the soul. These are things that we've heard. How do we know ourselves? We know ourselves as this body, as this mind, my thoughts. I believe this is what is right. Then if somebody is having contrary beliefs, then we don't get along with them, right? So we are usually very attached to our body, our own set of mind, thoughts. What happens in meditation is we start to see, we start to experience beyond that, ourselves beyond that. So when ma'am said that I could not feel my fingers, right? We lose the awareness of the body, which is beautiful because you're becoming aware of a deeper self within yourself. When she said, I don't know what happened with the thoughts. So the thoughts may actually go in the background. When we say you don't focus on them, so even in the background, something is going on, it's okay. But you're really not paying attention to them and slowly they'll disappear. What we give energy to, what we give attention to, is where our energy flows. So, what we are doing for this time when you meditate is you are not giving attention to these things. If there's restlessness in the body, like I said, so don't move it because you're not giving attention to that. It's okay if it's there. I see it, but I'm not going to necessarily engage with it. So, this is the journey of knowing your true self. The experiences that we start getting in meditation really start telling us about our true nature. Ideally, if we practice meditation for the number of minutes your age, if I'm 40 years old, 40 minutes every day, okay, that gives us so much energy that you'll really start also coming out of the illnesses. Your life will really start becoming much better. However, if that number scares you already and you say, oh my God, not possible, right? Start with 10, start with 15. Put an alarm for that much time and say, for that much time, I'm just going to stay. Initially, for a lot of people, the body resists. Your body will be very restless. But what is important is you cross a threshold point. When you have a determination, like we tell children, you have to be determined to sit and study. So if you want, go back and read why you should do this. If you're determined, taking that much time and saying, okay, till the alarm goes off, I'm going to just be here. I'm going to be greater than my body, I'm going to be greater than my mind. That is what then you will start experiencing great silence, great peace, great joy within. Yeah. And I tell you, that's the best thing that you can do for yourself. Okay. When we start living in this energy, when you start meditating, it becomes easier for your kids, your students to experience it. Right? We remember the story of Mahatma Gandhi. One mother took her child to Mahatma Gandhi and said, you tell him not to have sweets. He has too much sweets. And Mahatma Gandhi said, bring him after a week. And she said, I want you to just tell him one sentence. He said, no, bring him after a week. After a week, when she came with the child, he said, give me another week. And she was puzzled. Why is he asking that? After another week, when she brought him, he said, Beta, don't have sweets. And after that, that child stopped. And the mother was puzzled. Why did you not say this one sentence 2 weeks back? And he said, at that time, even I used to have a lot of sweets. Just saying that one sentence would not have had the same impact that when I have stopped would have. We have seen this case after case. People have shared this. When the teacher meditates and she goes into the classroom, there's a different experience that the classroom is going to have. There's a different learning experience. There's a difference, synchronicity, or what would you say? Everybody is aligned together. But when you are carrying your stress back into the classroom, you're going to say that that is a day that all the children who are normally mischievous, they are going to become the mischievous ones that particular day. So the most important thing is that the teachers and the parents really practice it. We carry that energy, right? And then sir was asking, how is it that we do it with them? So we can actually practice different ways. With when you start actually practicing meditation, a lot of experiences that happen in meditation. With children, you can actually also create creative visualization. So you can say, imagine that energy, a shower of energy is coming onto you and is really helping you calm down. Okay. Now, this is not, we're not making them just imagine some random thing. In meditation, actually, we receive this energy. So, what you're doing is you're actually tuning them into that experience already. Okay. That is one of the ways that you can do. Or you can tell them, okay, we are going to practice presence. So, right now, settle down in your seat and just become present to your feet. Become aware of where your feet is touching. Make them remove the footwear if that's okay, or just the seat that you're touching. Okay. And then where are you seated? Become aware of that. And now close your eyes and become aware of your breath. Okay. So a different way. Because if children are expecting today, again, sir is going to say, come watch your incoming breath, outgoing breath. They already know your script, right? With them, you have to be a little more imaginative. Okay. Or you can just come and you can say, okay, let's all do this together. Notice any 5 things that you're able to see in this room. Become present to it. Notice the 5 things. Okay. Then any 4 things that you're able to hear. Become present to it. You just tell them this. Any 3 things that you're able to feel. Okay. So you're feeling the foot. You're feeling the touch here. I'm feeling the clothes. I'm feeling the AC. Right. Just make them present in this way. Okay. So if you want, you can come back to us. We are there at the booth. We can share with you some of the ways. But basically, if you have 5, 6 ways in which you do it, don't go with one single thing. And make them become present to what is. Supposing they had a very tough lecture or they had a PT class, okay, they're all sweating. Okay, just become aware to your sweat. What's happening in the body? Right now, you feel the sweat going in and just say okay to it. It's going in the back, just say okay to it. We always don't have to be comfortable, right? And now come back to your breath. So just simply, when you become present to them, make them present to what is. This is going to be a simple way. And they will really be able to absorb much better. Their attention spans will become much, much better. Any questions? Any more questions about this? Yes, ma'am. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the morning. It can be any time of the day. But when we start in the morning, the way that we start the day is typically the flavor of the day. So many times we experience, we wake up with a bad dream, and then something or the other keeps happening, which is, making us upset. We say, oh, I woke up upset, then my cab driver didn't turn up, then something else bad happened. So we can actually, with meditation in the morning, we can set the tone of the day. But if that doesn't happen, if that's difficult for you, don't kill yourself for that. You can practice it after you come back from work. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much, friends, for joining. We can be around for another 5-10 minutes. If there are any questions you want to come and share personally, don't forget to acknowledge and see a friend deeply before you leave the room. Thank you. Thank you.